Okay, so we're almost ready to power on the machine. But before we do, there's a few things that I want to talk to you about. One is the use of your yellow service key. The machine is designed to be powered on only with the door in the closed position, unless you use your yellow service key. This allows you to see what's going on inside the machine while it's got power and while it's working. To use your yellow service key, simply place it inside the sensor position at the top right here and turn it clockwise. No need to hold it, it'll stay in there by itself. This will allow power to the machine to be fully operational, and you can see what's going on inside for service. The other point that I'd like to quickly talk about is your navigation buttons that you'll be using during the setup. On the front here, you can see that there are white buttons. You're going to be using 4 of them. The top left is going to be navigation backwards on the menu. Top right will be navigation forward on the menu. On the right-hand column, the second button down is going to be your confirmation or your enter button. And the third button down below that will be your back or your return button. You'll only need those 4 during navigation of the menus. So now we're ready to plug in the machine. So go ahead, leave your door open, ensure that your yellow service key is out, and plug in your machine. Where possible, plug it into a dedicated outlet for the machine only, and try to avoid use of extension cords. Okay, so we're ready to go. Our machine is plugged in, and we're just about to insert the service key. Once we do that, what's going to happen is the LED screen on the front of your machine is going to light up. It's going to give us some menu selections. As we begin the initialization process, what will happen is the water will be pulled up from the base cabinet and will start to fill the components inside the machine, such as the boiler and the reservoir. Let's go ahead and do that now. So our first selection is language. You can see that the factory default setting is here for Dutch. Using the top right scroll forward button, go ahead and press that until you come to English. Moving down one button, go ahead and use that as your confirmation or your enter button. Our next option, it's going to ask us to enable the grinder. From this point, go ahead and hit your back or your return button once. Your machine is now continuing on for the initialization process. At this point, you can hear the water starting to fill up into the machine. Again, it is processing and filling all of the components, including the boiler and the reservoir in the back of the machine. At this point, we're getting an out of service message. This message is normal, and all we need to do is reset the machine. Heading back up to your confirmation or your select button, push that once. So during your initialization process, if the reservoir in the back of the machine is not completely filled up, or you're receiving a message that says install boiler, we need to do a manual programming setup. Simply open the door and remove this small cover to the right of the cup carousel. On the inside of the door, you see a white label showing you what the 5 buttons mean. Go ahead and push the bottom right button, which corresponds with the programming button. On the front of your machine, you will see that you have now entered into a menu. At this point, go ahead and push your back button once, and you're now in the technical menu. Using your forward selection button, push until the test option, which is number 5, is highlighted. Select or enter. We are now in menu 5.1. Go ahead and use your selection button to scroll down to special functions and select or enter again. From here, we are in menu 5.2.1. Again, scroll forward so you select the manual installation, which is going to be selection 5.2.4. Using your select or enter button, go ahead and push that now. It's asking for a confirmation, so I'm going to push that again. You can hear the machine is now continuing with the installation process. This is confirmed for us by a selection that says working right on the menu. You'll be able to hear the machine filling up the internal components on the inside. This could take up to a few minutes. Once the noise has stopped, you'll know that the machine has finished the initialization process. At this point, we can back out of the technical menu, and we do that simply by going back to the internal panel, referencing the programming button on the bottom right, and pushing that again. You can see now that the boiler is heating up. Once this process is complete, so is the initialization, and the machine is ready for the next steps. So now it's time to install your labels. So go ahead and grab your labels from your label kit, the covers that you're going to put over top of them on the machine. And it's best to install the labels with the door fully closed for stability. So go ahead, take out the yellow service key, and unplug the machine so when you close the door, the machine doesn't power on. After your labels are installed, they should be in this order. This is important as your machine is pre-programmed through the up key to this layout and these selections. Sugar, espresso, macchiato, cappuccino, mochaccino, French vanilla, chocolate, cafe latte, flat white, Americano. It's now time to initialize the program database. This will allow the information from your up key to be transferred from the key into the machine itself. In order to do that, you want to make sure that you're turning the machine on with your yellow service key. Once you insert the service key, the machine will begin the startup process once again. As the machine is going through the heating process for the boiler, you can now push your programming button one more time. Simply remove the cover, and it's the button in the bottom right-hand corner. From there, that will take you into the menus. Push your back or return button. Using your forward select button, scroll down to machine configuration. Select. You're now in menu 4.1. Scroll forward to what is DB management or database management. Select. You are now in menu 4.3.1. You are looking to initialize DB. Go ahead and select that menu. You now have options. Under country, the option you are looking for is Deutschland. Select. From there, you have an option for layout. You are looking for layout 01. Select. You now have a tank option. This option helps decide what is being used for this machine. You want tank 1. Select. You now have the option to confirm all your selections. Go ahead and do that. And now the machine is working in reconfiguring your database management. You now have the option to select the language again. Go ahead and scroll forward and select English. The machine is asking us to please wait. From here, it is asking us to reconfirm grinder 1. Push your back or return button. The machine will now go through a small reboot. Your machine is now properly configured to the appropriate settings of Deutschland, Layout 1, Tank 1 on English settings. Now that you've initialized your database, it's time to upload the information from the up key to your machines. The information from the key are the program settings for all of your beverages that you've entered the labels for on here. And keep in mind, you only need one up key for all of your machines. To insert the up key, open up your door and find your programming board on the inside. Remove the cover to the up key and make sure the words up key are facing the top. On the inside of the programming board, you will find 2 sets of pins. The up key is going to be inserted into the top pins. Making sure that the pins are perfectly aligned, slide the up key into place. You'll know you've inserted your up key properly when the light turns green. At this point, go ahead and push your programming button one more time, close the door, and come back to your menu selection. With the up key inserted, you will be back on the Fill menu. Push back once, so you're in the technical menu. Scroll forward to menu number 7, Communication. Select. From there, you'll be in menu 7.1, Up key. Press Select again. Now you're in menu 7.1.1. Go ahead and select Setup Management. Now you're in menu 7.1.1.1. Very important to ensure that you are selecting the first option, Up key to machine, as this will dictate the transfer of information. Select. Scroll through until you see your Cafe setup option. From here, you need to confirm your database management layouts. Deutschland, Layout 1. Select. It's asking you to confirm that you want to update the calibration ingredient motors. Select. The transfer of information now begins. The information from the up key has been transferred to the programming for the machine. Go ahead and select any key. And from here, you can carefully remove the up key and push the programming button once more to return to the main option screen. From here, replace the cap on the up key and keep this in a very safe place in case you need it for future use. So you've completed all your connections. You've completed the setup of your base cabinet. You've uploaded all the information for your beverage selection. Now it's time to fill your machine with product. We're going to start over here on this door with the cup carousel. To load your cups, you want to just simply remove the clear plastic top. Grab your cup carousel gently from the bottom, lift upwards slightly, and then pull forward. This tilts the cup carousel towards you and allows for ease of access of the cups. Now, it's always recommended before you load your carousel with cups just to give them a quick little feathering. Drop in the cups, replace the cover back on the top, lift up, and gently push back. Over here on this door is where your sugar is going to go. Now, to test your beverages, it's not necessary to completely fill it up to the top. On the outside of the door is where your stir sticks are going to be located if you have them. If you need to, you can always make this stir stick holder larger by simply loosening the screw at the bottom, moving the channel over one notch, and then reinstalling the screw. Over here in this canister, this is where your milk is going to go. The one on the middle is going to be your chocolate, and the last one over here is going to be for your French vanilla. Right here is the hopper for your coffee beans. You're going to pour the coffee into the top. But before you do that, you need to make sure that the hopper door, which is this green lever right here, is in the open position. To ensure that it's open, simply reach in, grab it, and pull it towards the front of the machine gently as far as it will go. Once that's open, you're then free to fill the hopper with coffee. Once your machine is full of your product, we're ready to make a beverage. Close it up. And let's test it all out. So your machine is now full of product. Congratulations, your setup is complete. It's now time to enjoy a cup of coffee.